check, check, check. All right, here we are, and it's time to get started. Today I have a workout which is called 3-10 to Yuma. Now, I created this workout years ago to maximize my performance on race day. Now, when it comes to racing, one of the things we're going to see is at every race, especially if you're at the elite level, you're going to get the countdown. You're going to hear 3, 2, and boom, the race is off. And then the opening of the race, everyone's nervous. Everyone's trying to get those opening positions, whether it's on a trail race, mountain bike race. And often, if you're trying to get in the top 10 and if you're trying to win, those opening miles can make or break your effort. And what often happens is people are unprepared for that hard start. And so what they end up doing is they say, well, I don't want to blow up, which is a smart strategy. But what often happens is once that lead group kind of gets away from you, it's very often hard to find the motivation to chase them down. Because one of the things we talk about in racing is out of sight, out of mind. So if you're on a trail race, if you're doing a Spartan race, and a group of 7 starts out hard and you say, whoa, 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 I don't want to blow up. And they get around the corner over the hill and you can't see them anymore. Sometimes what might happen is you might not be able to chase them down, or they start to open a gap and you aren't aware of that. So when you see them next time, you're like, oh my gosh, they're even further away. Or you might not notice that they're just up ahead and you can take them down. And so you're not aware of that though. Preparing for the start of the race is something that I like to do as it gets closer to race day. Now, 3-10 to Yuma is designed to kind of put your system in a little bit of shock, to put an immense demand on the respiratory system, and we're going to challenge that limitation. So what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to warm up for this. And I know that sounds crazy, and on race day, you're going to do a warm up, which should help negate some of this. But still, even with a warm up, as you get to higher levels of racing, you're going to get that initial wave that you need to survive. If you're going to be competitive, you need to survive the initial onslaught, because generally with most races, once that initial wave hits, it might be a quarter mile, it might be a half mile, it might be a mile, depending on the race, what type of race it is, how long it is, kind of the people in the field. If you can survive that and hang on, you've done yourself justice. So the way this is going to work is very simple but brutal and terrible. And if you guys do this, let me know. Tag me in this. Hit me up in the comments. Because remember, this is designed to put you in the hole and simulate just getting blown out of the water and trying to run. So it's going to start off with 3 minutes and 10 seconds of alternating lunge jumps. I know what you're thinking. That's impossible. That's not fair. That's the whole point. It's beyond most people's capabilities. And I know in the fitness world, we only do things for 15, 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds, maybe a minute if we're crazy. I think a lot of people have been spending too much time strength training, especially strength coaches, and they forget that they need to be conditioning themselves. You're not going to waste away if you start doing more conditioning. It doesn't take much to get strong. So 3 minutes and 10 seconds sounds like crazy, but maybe you need to up your conditioning. Now, when people do lunge jumps, I see a lot of people go like this. Come on now, that's just switching legs. I want you to start in the bottom. So that means I'm starting down here, knee does not have to touch. I start and finish here. So it's lunge, 1, 2, 3. It's not start at the top, lunge down, and finish at the top. So please be honest with those. In 3 minutes and 10 seconds, you're gonna hit a wall. It's going to blow the legs out of the water. So we're gonna put some heavy pre-fatigue in the legs. Your heart rate's gonna start to jump. You're gonna include some blood in the legs. Then I want you to run 3 miles. Mile number 1 is going to be a hard mile. Now, when I say hard, I don't mean all out. I don't want you to try to break your personal record. So if you can run a 5-minute mile, maybe you run closer to a 6-minute mile. Remember, you're gonna have the pre-fatigue of the lunges before, but I want a hard mile. I want you challenging yourself. And it shouldn't be so hard that halfway through the mile, you have to slow down. So you need to kind of feel this out, and the first time you do this workout, it's gonna obliterate you, and that's kind of the point. So the first mile, I want you to go hard. Let's say you run an 8-minute mile on mile 1. So right after the lunges, you go right into the run, no break, no rest, right into the run. Your legs are gonna be heavily occluded with blood. It's going to absolutely blow your aerobic system out of the water. Then in mile 2, I want you to slow down 1 minute slower per mile. So if your first mile was 8 minutes, your second mile is going to be 9 minutes, and then your third mile is going to be 10 minutes. Don't worry about getting right on the dot. The idea is that we're going to slowly kill the pace a little bit, simulating that fast race start. And the lunge jumps are also going to simulate a little bit of anxiety. When you get a little bit of anxiety and you start running, you can jack your heart rate up pretty high. You might be kind of a little bit more tense than usual, and that can occlude more blood, and especially if you're really nervous. So 3 minutes and 10 seconds of lunge jumps right into a very hard mile. Remember, if you get halfway through the mile and you're blown out of the water, you went too hard. It should be hard but sustainable. Then you're going to go 1 minute slower in mile 2, 1 minute slower in mile 10. Or 1 minute mile, not mile 10, your third mile. So that is the 3:10 to Yuma. Once again, this is specific for preparing for races. If you don't have races, I definitely wouldn't probably do this workout too often. It's very demanding, it's very stressful, and you gotta make sure if you implement this, you understand that if you have strength training to do, if you're doing lots of miles on your legs, use this sparingly. And this is just to give you a taster of having those slow-mo legs, high heart rate, hanging on for dear life, but then you get a little bit of a break and you say, okay, I can hang on. Okay, I can hang on. All right, now I'm in the race. So this is the 3:10 to Yuma. If you rock it, tag me, get starched, hit me up. I hope you guys enjoy it. This is one of my favorite workouts, and get after it.